Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to Lego Batman on the Nintendo DS, and it's time for the finale of the story, Gotham
Dun, dun,
Cathedral,
dun. Yay.
from the Joker and Harley Quinn's POV. Which point of view?
Thank you.
In case people didn't know, I mean, you know, you're
What does-
welcome.
Never mind. What does DLC stand for, Luke?
Who doesn't know that?
Oh.
This game has no DLC. This
Never
was
mind.
before. There was actually a time in video games before microtransactions.
No way. I don't believe you.
Yep. Although the game after this, then they incorporated microtransactions because Lego Batman 2 had DLC
Oh, yeah.
that you had to
did.
pay for.
Are you talking about the Dark Ages, or are you talking about the caveman days? Oh, you're
Caveman
talking...
days?
Never... I don't know. I don't really even know if the caveman days ever exist.
Alrighty, so...
Are you talking about the... I was trying to say that you were old. Forget it.
Harsh! Look at me, I look like a spring chicken. Like, if I shave, people mistake me for,
Yeah,
like,
they do.
a millennial.
They do think you're like 17.
Okay, let's not go that old. Young. No way. I don't know.
I've heard. Never mind.
That was a couple years ago, the last time that I completely shaved. Fine, I will shave everything
No!
off, and then I will look like I'm in my mid-20s.
You will not. You will not look like you're in your mid-20s. You'll look like you're 17. Little baby face.
I don't have a baby face. I have an amazing beard, and I look fantastic. Anyway, what's up, people? Welcome to the KwingsLetsPlays channel. We're a husband and wife that plays video games together and teases each other relentlessly. So if you love that, subscribe, tell your friends, families.
Yep. Now I know why that one guy who played the Joker never wanted to shave his mustache. Because he didn't want to be a baby face.
No, it was iconic.
What?
He incorporated that as how he got a lot of his roles.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
You think if he shaved it off, it wouldn't grow back the same?
I don't know. I mean, whenever he played the Joker, he just had it painted over.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could see it whenever they did the close-up shots. It was so weird. Because
Yeah.
they would give, like, more white makeup on that part of his mustache than, like, the rest of his face. So, I mean...
It would be, like, caked on there.
Yeah, they would cake it on there. And then it just... That's when the show started to become really campy, is when they had, like, more Joker episodes, because it just
It
was
just
like...
didn't even look realistic in
no.
any way. That's hilarious. That's pretty cool. He must have been a pretty big star to make them not... Because usually stars can't get out of that. They'll be like, you have to grow your hair out. You have to shave.
Cesar Romero?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was huge. He was a big, I believe he was a Spanish star, too. I don't remember.
His name sounds pretty awesome.
But, I mean, you gotta remember, that was Dad's show. That's
Yeah.
60s stuff. I mean, we saw it in reruns and things like that,
It was
but
before our time.
our Batman is Keaton.
Yeah, my Batman is the animated series Batman.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we're being totally honest. And
I guess. I
Animated
didn't
series.
really... Your Batman is Keaton.
Although I had an interesting conversation with my dad a while back about, like, Batman and stuff like that, because he was like, because, you know, I report Batman stuff. He was like, so is Affleck done with Batman? I'm getting a lot of conflicting reports. It's like, no, he's done as director of Batman. He can't, you know, focus on doing the Batman character and direct the film
Yeah.
and face all this pressure that people expect him. Like, it needs to be the best Batman ever. It's got to be better than the Nolan series. Has to be better than the animated series. You know, you really need to deliver, Ben. And he's just like, every time he's talking about one of his new movies that he's directing, nobody cares. They want to know about Batman. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to focus on the character, and I quit directing.
Yeah.
I'm done. All the
So-
other scripts, they're not going to live up to people's expectations, so everything's going to be redone. We're bringing in somebody else to be the director.
Yeah, then it can be on that person's head.
Exactly.
And he can just focus on being the best Batman ever. And then if people are like, the film was terrible, but Ben Affleck was amazing, then he can walk away smiling like,
So
yeah, at least
I basically,
did my part.
I explained to Dad, I was like, no, he hasn't retired from the role. You know, he's not in danger from quitting. Like, Warner Brothers has him on a pretty strict contract He's basically like the Iron Man of DC right now. Like, he is the Robert Downey Jr., so he's lined in for tons of cameos. He's got all this other stuff to do as Batman. And, you know, unless, I told him, I said the only way they're going to get him out is, which I'm very excited about, and the news isn't reporting this, which is crazy, because I was telling him, I said, you know what I'm excited about more than Batman? And he's like, you love Batman. I said, no, there's somebody else I really like more than Batman. And he's like, I was like, Nightwing, Dad. And he was like, oh yeah, right, Robin. It's like, no, Nightwing.
Ah! Isn't that weird? It's like...
Yeah, and he did the holy joke, too. He was like, holy film, Batman. And I was just like
no, that's not Robin.
That's not Robin anymore, Dad. That's the 60s.
That was never Robin to me. That was...
Go in the corner. Go in your culture corner.
I don't really understand. Like, you and I, like, the more that the older I get, the more things that I know about, like, culture and things like that. Whereas most people that I know, like, parents and stuff, the less they know. Like, the older they get, it's like they hardly know anything to begin with. And then when they start getting older, it's like they have no idea what's going on. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, like, I don't understand. Maybe it's that time where they just... I'm never going to be an old person that sits around and watches TV. I'm sorry. But that's never going to happen to me. I'm going to go mountain climbing. I'm going to, like, do all kinds of stuff. I'm never going to sit around.
I want to be like that one dude in the YouTube commercials that's like 57 and he has like an alien neck and head and he's got like abs for days.
Are you talking about that Old Spice guy?
No, it's not the Old Spice guy. No.
What guy?
There's this other guy who's like really old looking. He was on our channel. It was an ad. I don't know what it was.
I want to be Chuck Norris. Or you can be Chuck Norris. I have to be somebody.
Chuck Norris is getting kind of delirious a little bit. He's like the same age as Dad, so...
I never want to get delirious. It's probably going to happen to me.
It happens to me when I don't sleep a lot. I'm like, who am I? And I just fall asleep. I fall asleep like sitting up, like when I'm editing, and you know your brain actually can do that to you if you're like staying up a long time. Your brain's like, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're trying to get work done. We're sleeping. And then you tell your head, it's like, no, I'm not. I'll sleep when I'm. And you're gone. And then you wake up and you see that it's 3 a.m. when just a few minutes ago you could have swore it was like 11 o'clock. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate when that happens. Especially when I thought I rendered a video beforehand and I didn't.
Oh my gosh.
So either I time traveled to another dimension or I fell asleep sitting up. So, you know, us going to this new place in Pennsylvania is going to be good for my health because, like, bad internet is bad for your health.
I want one of those regeneration tanks that Link has.
I know, right? That's actually kind of interesting. So anyway, back to my conversation. So we were explaining things, and I was like, so if you really had to say who your favorite Batman was, I said, here's your choices. And he's like, okay. I said, I forgot his name. Adam West, Michael Keaton, Conroy, or Christian Bale. I said, who is your Batman?
Oh my gosh.
And
I'm scared.
I was surprised at Dad's answer, because at first I thought he was going to say Keaton, but then he said Conroy. And I was like, well, what do you mean? He says, well, I mean, that one movie we saw in the theaters, that was incredible. And he says, you know, Christmas with the Joker is like one of my favorite holiday things. And he says Robin's Reckoning is a great story. And Dad was actually...
my favorite animated series episode.
He was actually... I was impressed. You know, for a guy who's like 58 or something, I was pretty impressed that he was able to...
Your dad can remember words?
He could remember episode names. Heart of Ice, Robin's Reckoning. And I was just like... I felt like a proud parent. I was just like... Because, you know, when you talk to parents, mostly they talk about sports and things like that. And my dad is a huge football and hockey fan and whatever, and I don't watch that stuff anymore. So, you know, it's nice that we still have Batman to fall back on every once in a while, but that's the only thing he remembers is because he watched it when I was a kid. He didn't really, it's not like he stays up to date on it or anything. He hears wacky things on the news, he'll call me up sometime and ask me what's going on. And then I can kind of like set him straight because the media is wrong and stupid about things. So, but I was pretty impressed. It was like, you know, that moment.
Why do people even watch the news? It's so stupid.
To me, Amber, it felt like that moment that you put your kid on like a bicycle and they can pedal by themselves. It's like, that's what it felt like.
Yeah,
And,
but like,
you know,
I don't know. It just feels like everyone in the, like, it feels like our, I don't know. I don't know if our, I wouldn't say, I don't know if our generation is better. Okay, fine. I'll say 80s and 90s generation is better. Because I'm sorry, in the 60s, everyone just trusted everyone else. Like,
Pleasantville.
our generation, we actually had to realize that the world is, like, horrible, and we have to realize the news literally lies to us.
For ratings.
I know.
Yeah.
So it's like, we don't, like, really just take stuff.
Actually, what I would say is they actually had good news back in the day. They just had somebody who would read what was going on, and their news would last about, like, 15 minutes, and then they didn't have talking heads get together and
but they can't. It's like they're from the past. They can't survive in this world. Like, they're oblivious. Like, if you talk to older people, they think everything's still hunky-dory. They have no idea what's going on. Like, they're just oblivious. They're still stuck in the 60s. Like, oh, my government would never do anything to harm me. Oh, everything is hunky-dory. There's nothing going on. What? I'm just saying.
I don't know. So, have you noticed with this level too, just like Joker's fort, it's all about Harley and Joker, like, setting up the traps that Batman has to run through? Isn't that a unique and fun idea?
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
So, I mean, I still don't... I mean, there was a nasty rumor going around that LEGO Dimensions was going to be canceled, but that was just a fabrication to, like, get... There were a couple channels, I'm not going to say whose names it were, but there were a couple channels that made, like, a false rumor that not Disney Infinity, LEGO Dimensions was going to cancel because they haven't announced, like, a new game in the series or whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with LEGO Dimensions, they never said there was going to ever be a LEGO 2, like LEGO Dimensions 2. They said they were going to keep adding, like, characters to the first game for a while.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was kind of like a spread of false information. And then, here's the funny thing, like, within 48 hours of posting that, they post another video that say, oh, it's not canceled, here are the next sets coming out. And it's like, that is a huge example of clickbait.
Yeah.
But, I mean, enough of the LEGO Dimensions stuff. I would really like to have that LEGO Batman 4 game, or based on tons of Marvel and DC stuff that's going on. And I know we talked about this a little bit before, but I'd say it's time in either 2017 or 2018 or 2019 for a LEGO DC versus Marvel game. It's time. The fandom is ready.
That would be awesome, but who would win? Like, if you had DC win, then Marvel would be mad.
It doesn't matter. It's Warner Brothers that owns
So just have DC
LEGO.
win because it's Warner Brothers.
I mean, well, you could find a clever way of having, like, both sides kind of, like, win,
like,
but...
hold hands at the end and hug?
No.
Okay, fine.
You go with that similar storyline to DC versus Marvel from the 90s, like those crossover comics that they did. It felt like, you know, either fandom could have won, like, if you look at it that way. It was really clever writing, and, you know, one time DC handled, like, the storyline, another time Marvel did. They had, like, 3 crossovers in the 90s. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, honestly, I would have DC win, personally, because Batman's more popular than Marvel characters. It's fact. Marvel characters are getting popular, but they're still not at the pinnacle of where the Bat is.
Yeah, I know.
That's a fact.
It's true.
That's a fact that even Stan Lee acknowledges.
Really? Wow.
Oh yeah, he knows that certain DC characters are more legendary than Marvel. He's like, well, someday, you know, Marvel will catch up to the status where Batman is, and then Batman will be in another pillar. So...
Oh, I see what you mean.
He also posted something funny on his Twitter today where Spider-Man and Batman were fighting over who's most popular, and Stan Lee was like... It was a funny burn. He was like, stop it right now, you two, or I'll call your parents. And he's like, oh, wait.
Oh my
like,
god.
Oh, that got them to stop, though.
That's terrible.
Oh, yeah. Orphan joke.
Oh, yeah, that would be Batman. It would be more popular than Spider-Man. Of course, Spider-Man is brighter and happier, but whinier.
Spider-Man is like a Robin with superpowers. If you really think about it, the witty jokes, the colorful costume, he just has superpowers. It's the only difference. His costume is also red, like Robin's.
Yep.
But I mean, I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's awesome. I was a huge fan of Spidey in the 80s. I mean, people can knock me and say I'm a Marvel hater, but I loved Marvel in the 80s and 90s.
A lot of people like Spider-Man. I remember we were on a video one time, and I just said it. I was being sarcastic. I was like, who is Spider-Man? I've never heard of him. I don't really like this character very much. And
I love to troll people so much.
Then everyone in the comments was like, oh, I can't believe you said that. And it's like,
guys,
it's like, I know who Spider-Man is. I've done a million games on Spider-Man.
She does things to troll you. You need to learn to know when Amber is messing with you, because it's a lot.
But like, people were honestly, and there were people who were like, I'm unsubscribing. I just can't do this. It's just like, what? It's like, do you really think I don't know who Spider-Man is?
Well, here's the thing. They see this cute blonde talking, and they forget that she actually has a brain, or could know how to troll them. They think that everything that you say out of your mouth, because the color of your hair, is not accurate.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, you've like fooled so many people over the years that I find it hilarious.
I have said a lot of things, and like, I guess I get into trouble even with your family and certain things like that. I get into trouble with like people all the time, like. And
some members of my family don't have a sense of humor.
Yeah,
so.
and then they'll sit there and they'll stare at me with a shocked face, and then they'll hate me forever, and I'm just like, okay. I'm just like, right. It's like, I don't even want to respond. I don't even want to answer them to tell them, because it's like, why should I even give them a response? No. You really thought I wasn't joking? Wow.
Use the power of the blonde.
Yeah, it's like I'm using my power of a blonde against people, because they assume... See, it makes people trolled even more, because they already have the preconceived belief that I'm going to say something stupid. So when I say something that I'm obviously joking, then they think like... They're like, wait, a normal person, I would think that this person would be joking, but she's blonde. So I'm thinking, maybe she thinks this is real. Because blonde makes everything different. It's like...
Mm-hmm. Although your hair color is changing over the years, so...
It's getting more red. I really want it to be curly, like, someday.
I would be totally cool with you being a redhead.
Yeah, I don't want it to be curly and red, though. It doesn't have to be curly and blonde or straight and red. I don't know. Curly and red would be... Well, it'd be like Merida.
Merida. Alright, so what we need to do now, ladies and gentlemen, is just finish putting together Joker's gas bomb, and then that should do it.
I would love red hair, but I just don't like the stigma on red hair. Like, people look down on people with red hair sometimes.
I thought they just think people are have fiery personalities.
Yeah, they think they're gonna be mean, like, automatically.
Mary Jane wasn't mean. She was just feisty.
Not all redheads are mean. In fact, some of them are really nice. But
Barbara Gordon's kind of mean. Not Barbara Gordon that we know. Barbara Gordon from the comic books.
Oh, yeah. From, like, New 52 and stuff.
No, I'm even going further back.
Oh.
Like...
Yeah, that's what I don't really want.
Remember when she's, like, in her wheelchair and stuff in the Birds of Prey in the 90s, and she and Nightwing are an item, she's not necessarily the nicest to him, because she always thinks that he's living in the past, and she's the one that can't move into the present. She's the one that also, like, declined her engagement several times because she thought that he didn't like her because she was paralyzed. And it's like, that had nothing to do with it. He was already able to see past what she thought her imperfections were.
Right, he was, like, already over it, and she was still dwelling on it for years.
She thought that he thought that, you know, she wasn't good for him, or that, you know, he was just gonna pretend like that she wasn't paralyzed, and he wasn't doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe today's Nightwing in the comics might be like that, but back when he was written by Chuck Dixon and things like that.
But isn't that weird? Like, no matter what color hair you have, people, like, perceive something about you automatically. Mm-hmm. So it's just so odd. I don't even think people do that for guys. They don't assume guys are fiery when they have red hair. It's just for girls. That's weird.
Joker bombs active. Gotham's doom is at hand. At least until the Dark Knight shows up. Harley's infatuated even more.
In love.
10 minutes until the end of the world, kids. Make sure you're subscribed now so you get notified. Oh, 9 minutes and 48 seconds. And Harley's like, wait a second, this might actually be a bad idea. It's like, yeah, be kind of a bad idea. So that does it. We have finished another Let's Play, ladies and gentlemen. If you really think about it, this is done. So you can go over to our Kwing wiki and mark down another completed game. Those of you lurkers keeping track of whether or not we finish a game series, this one is finally done. I noticed
they lurk in the shadows.
I noticed on the wiki that this was next to Fire Emblem Fates as a hiatus series.
Someone has updated that, but I am grateful for people updating that.
Yeah, I love that.
But thank you very much for watching another series of Lego Batman 1 on the DS. Woohoo!
Woot!
That was really fun.
Special thanks to artists Andy Davis and Dave Woodman, designers Nick Elms, Dave Mervek, Tobias Rowe as design supports, and animators
name,
Kevin Flynn. I know, Tobias is. William Turner, DS cutscene director, so the guy in charge of kind of like the stills and things like that.
Yep, totally.
Pretty tight.
Special thanks to Luke Kwing for playing through the game with his gamer hands and his controller.
Gamer hands?
Yep. You could bend iron with those things.
Yet sometimes I have issues just opening a ginger ale. So it comes and goes.
The mysteries of the world.
The mysteries continue. So this is Arkham Asylum in the DS. You can see it just kind of looks like a prison. Doesn't have that personality and charm of Arkham Asylum. It really doesn't.
I know. It's more fun with more gothic stuff and scariness.
Yeah, I mean, this is too bright to be Arkham, to be honest.
It's a happy prison.
So we never really got to show off the Batcave and some of the other stuff, so we're going to do that now.
Yay!
And also, maybe buy some characters, because we have tons
and then we
of...
could free roam later. Maybe.
It's not really free roaming. It's free play.
The story again with different characters.
Free play, right. So, let's see. We got extras, multiplayer...
Oh man, this takes me back to older video games. Oh my gosh.
This was 2008.
I know.
You're like,
we're probably gonna have flying cars soon. Why does everyone say that? There's never gonna be any flying cars. I bet if we go to the year 3000, there's no flying cars. It'll just be a bunch of people sitting in school, playing more and more. You know what I think is gonna happen in the year 3000? More taxes. You know, less time. You're going to be sleeping. Everyone's going to be sleeping 3 hours a day and working 20 hours a day.
That's not going to be a very good life.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Life
they're even complaining about people on the internet. Like, they're saying people like me who only get 5 to 6 hours sleep a day are considered people who are sleep deprived.
But a lot of people only get 5 to 6 hours. People who work at businesses only get 5 to 6 hours. Mm-hmm. Most people get 6 hours of sleep. Yeah, even in the 40s, people used to sleep.
They've increased it again. They said now, in order to get a healthy amount of sleep, like according to doctors today,
you have to quit your job.
9 to 10 hours of sleep.
You can't sleep that much. You'd have to quit your job. Even people in college can't sleep that much.
No. People in college, like, Nightwing! Yes!
They sleep on their homework and stuff. I didn't sleep that much in college. Even when I was in school, I used to not even sleep many nights. I'd stay up for 48 hours at least once or twice a week.
Did you see how much they wanted for Killer Moth? That was crazy. Alright, so we can get a policeman. How much is it for Batgirl again?
I don't know.
A two-faced bodyguard. Yeah, why not? We'll splurge on that. Riddler suit. Classic Catwoman. 300,000. Bruce Wayne. Bodyguard. Basically look like the same guy. Harvey Bullock. 800 for the Joker. 800 for classic Batman. And we have 300,000 for Batgirl.
Yay.
So, we unlocked Nightwing. We don't have enough for Batgirl. Well, we do, but now we don't.
Killer Moth.
Now we don't. We have Killer Moth.
Why, Luke? Why? Why would you get Killer Moth?
Did you notice what Killer Moth looked like, though? That's from the 2004, the Batman show version of Killer Moth. And also Teen Titans.
Oh, well. No.
I could get Barbara Gordon, though.
Okay, fine.
I could, but I'm not going to.
Alright, I guess we'll keep saving up.
And if we had well, actually, no, we're going to put in cheats.
How do you save up Morse code?
There's cheats.
Oh, okay.
There's cheats to get like 3 million studs.
There are some cheats, yeah.
There are
Okay.
cheats that we'll
Excellent.
think about doing. Sorry, I just moved the kitty, so it was like my voice changed because I'm kind of just hanging out.
Holding a kitty.
Kind of, sort of.
Well, kind of, as much as you can hold your game controller and the cat.
Yeah. So let's take a tour of the Batcave a little bit, since we've got some time to kill.
I wonder what the cat is thinking about when people hold them. Are they thinking, why does everyone want to hold
Out of
me?
all the things that they're able to do, like with technology, they need to get a cat translator.
I know, what is my cat thinking right now?
I know, I would like to know.
She's just sitting there. It's like
How do I know when she wants a hug? How do I know when she wants to be... Well, I know when she wants to be fed. Little booger.
all the time.
Yeah.
When
No,
does she want to hug all the time?
cats like to be fed every 8 hours.
Oh.
Every 8 hours.
Is that right, Shadow?
Well, that's
See?
kittens. I don't know about these type of cats, but...
It's like, I wish I had fur all over me, and then people would want to hug me all the time, too.
It's like a living, like, stuffed animal.
It's
You
like
just
a
want
stuffed animal with like a little... It's like a battery inside of it that purrs, makes a noise
I
when you
know.
hold it.
Maybe it's because of purring and you just want to play
I
with
think
it.
that's the purring.
But anyway, guys and gals, that does it for this series. We'll be looking at Nightwing eventually, and we have other Let's Plays starting soon. So come back until we meet again. God bless and happy gaming.
And let us know about your pets. See ya!